Wow, good morning, beloved. You are welcome to today's edition of Dialogue Box. You know, you are actually the beloved, and you can only get better in whatever you are doing. Like we said yesterday, you are a man or a woman on a mission. So, no matter the setbacks that you think you are experiencing right now, they are not to stop you, they are to propel you forward and take you from one level of glory to another. So, you are welcome to this morning's edition of Dialogue Box. We've been talking about several areas where the government can improve, and just like a response to some of us talking about the power sector yesterday and how we think that no matter what the tariffs that the government would like to approve for the distribution companies as the discos to put in place, it should not be to the detriment of what Nigerians are actually benefiting from the power sector right now, because even though there are improvements in several places, it's still not the ideal situation. So to that effect, we just got news that the National Assembly, they've given a final directive to the discos to hold on with the increment in power sector bills, that's electricity tariffs. And to that effect, that means they will put it on hold. It was supposed to take off from tomorrow, July 1st. But with this information, that means the discos will need to hold on and till 2021 to be precise. And that's a long time for them to work out more modalities to also increase what they can get from the power sector right now. All right, moving on, we have quite a number. So we'll still look at the power sector, talking about how we are, at what state we are in right now, and what can be done to improve on the sector, and with the updates of what came in yesterday. Let's just give you some brief heads up. The federal government, through Dr. Sani Aliyu, coordinator of the Presidential Task Force, that's a PTF on COVID-19, disclosed at its news conference in Abuja yesterday, that's on Monday, that though the current nationwide curfew will still remain, there are some developments that have been put in place for consideration, and they include the movement across state boundaries. That is, interstate movement could now take effect from July 1st, that is tomorrow. So that means they've lifted the ban on interstate travel, interstate movement, and it can take effect from tomorrow. They also said the junior secondary school 3, that's the GSS 3, and the senior secondary 3, the SS3 students from junior and senior secondary schools would now be allowed to resume school in preparation for their examinations. So to that effect, all public schools, the junior, the JSS3 and the SS3 are also the ones that have been given the permission to resume. Then the civil servants within grade 14 and above must also resume. That means must resume fully in their offices with strict adherence to the COVID-19 protocol, adding that the wearing of mask is now mandatory for them. In other words, no matter how much they want to look at it, without the wearing of face mask, they will not be allowed into the premises where they work. So with this development, we also have the aviation industry. They also got a lift yesterday where the ban on domestic flights have been lifted. So as soon as it's practicable, domestic flights can commence as soon as possible. So that's also another lead yesterday. So with all this, we'll still look at them, and whatever you think about these issues, you can still send in your opinion, talking about, are we on the right path, talking about these measures that the government has taken, the resumption of schools for the GSS3 and the SS3, that's the lifting of the ban of the interstate movement, and all that they have done. We know that we are actually excited in some areas, but in other areas, it is the right measure for the government to take at this point in time. All right, moving on, we are on the power sector this morning. We just informed that the National Assembly has given a directive to the discos, the distribution companies, to hold on with any form of increment till 2021. But in considering what the discourse have been talking about, they also have some areas where they think Nigerians should improve on to also help them in making the most of their investments in Nigeria. So we'll take it from the angle where, first of all, when they were still on the tariff path, they warned that the increase in tariff will not bring about efficient power supply. So the discourse through Mr. Sunday Odutan, the Executive Director of Research and Advocacy for their umbrella body, Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributors, ANED, said there will be a change in compared to 5 years ago. He says, but don't expect 24 hours of electricity. And with that, when he was asked about the implication of the new tariff, he said, since there is no increase in generation, there will be no increase in transmission. So in other words, however you want to look at it, until there is increase in generation, that's power generation, there will be no increase in transmission. Then he also talked about how Nigerians have not been very committed to, just a second, Nigerians have not been very committed to paying their electricity bills. The fact that even some staff members of some of the power companies, in quote, according to him, are corrupt. So how will they aid a system where they are supposed to recover whatever it is that they invested? And don't forget that the federal government has been working on full privatization of the sector, but it's still not fully achieved. It's still a process. But then if an investor puts in anything and is not able to recover his investment, that's not good business. So they are looking at some of those underlying factors and seeing how they can take care of this and move the sector to be more efficient. So we'd like you to talk about the power sector. Nigerians don't pay bills. That's a major allegation against Nigerians. A lot of Nigerians just want to enjoy power without paying any bill for it. And a lot of them, when they travel abroad, they are among those that maybe they'll be the first to pay the bills that they are enjoying over there. And don't forget that over there in the West and in other parts of the world, power is a major aspect of that consumes bills. So it's one of the areas that people pay high bills for. But it's not so in Nigeria. So the discourse, that's the distribution companies, as of the opinion that because Nigerians have not been paying bills, and even with the ones that are paying, they still have to contend with the issue of corrupt staff members. So it is not helping them to recover their invested funds. So we'd like you to send in your opinion, your comments, and let us know what you think about this and how the government can fully help the power sector to move in the right direction. So we have those that will be calling in, and when they call in, we can take their calls. And while that is going on, let's also give you a heads up on some of the areas where we would like to commend individuals and companies for, and even the government. But while that is going on, start typing your reaction now. I'm waiting for it. Now listen to this. Chinese firms, that's as part of their CSR, that's their corporate social responsibilities. To be precise, they are China Great Wall Industry Corporation and China Chamber of Commerce. They've donated COVID-19 protective kits and masks to the finance ministry in Nigeria. So we say big thumbs up to these Chinese firms that have done this as part of their CSR. Then we also would like to commend the President Muhammad Buhari, who will be flagging off the construction of 614 kilometers Ajaokuta Kaduna Kano gas pipeline today. That's Tuesday. So the president is expected at the Ajaokuta axis to flag off the construction of the 614 kilometers gas project, which is expected to run for 24 months, and it will be completed. So we say to the government, see to it that this project is completed, and let us have, as he is going for the flag off today, let's also have the project that will be fully executed, and Nigerians can really say indeed it was a good job, well done. All right, we also have a fact from the area that doesn't seem to look or sound too good. The fact that Air Peace has evacuated about 317 stranded Nigerians from London. The Nigerian High Commission has also scheduled another batch for July 13. So we are of the opinion that no matter what, Nigerians should not just find themselves in countries where they are irrelevant, they are not contributing to the sector, they are not doing anything, so they end up becoming let's use the word, they are just there, and at the end of the day, a lot of them are evacuated, a lot of them are sent back, a lot of them are, repatriated, and it is not good enough. So for Nigerians, we are to be patriotic, stand for a better Nigeria. We've been saying it. Blossom Nigeria is all about promoting hope, promoting peace, and telling Nigerians that we are the ones that will build our nation. Nobody will do it for us. So everyone has a quota to contribute. So don't go to any country where you don't have a purpose, you don't have any reason for going there. And that is why we are saying that this kind of news should reduce to the barest minimum, where Air Peace, as at yesterday, has brought back 317 stranded Nigerians in London. That is not good for us. So Blossom Nigeria, we are telling you, if you don't have a reason to travel, stay back and let's build Nigeria together. All right. We have good news now from still the United States. This time around, it says the US-based Nigerian medical expert, Dr. Samson Arigbamu, has invented a COVID-19 infected lungs detector. That means what he has invented is a stethoscope that can detect infected lungs as a result of COVID-19 infection. So Arigbamu maintained that the stethoscope will be a great pride to the Nigerian government for inventing such a critical medical equipment. He called it worthy of US patent. And that's a good one for our Nigerian who is based in the US for inventing such a critical equipment that is worthy of the US patent. So with all this information, just to give you some heads up of what's happening around, and much more are happening out there, but we would like to only stick with what will help our land, help our nation, help our country to move in the right direction. Where we can give our counsel, we give, but we are all working towards a greater and a better Nigeria. So we've told you to send in your comments, send in your thoughts, send in your opinion, talking about the power sector, how we can improve on it, to the extent that even though the National Assembly have asked the discos to put on hold their plan to increase tariffs till 2021, even though that has been given as a directive, from the aspect of the business investor, they have also laid their complaints, like we said earlier. They've complained. Let me just quickly go through that again. Nigerians have not been paying their bills. Nigerians are always, wanting to evade anything that has to do with payment. They also talked about the fact that prepaid meters are still not everywhere. A lot of people don't use prepaid meters, and they still have to contend with the issue of corrupt staff members. So I said we should send in our comments and let us know how we can tackle all of this morning. I have some comments here. Thank you so much. All right. Greetings here. Good morning, Blossom Nigeria. Rita is also asking, greeting. Good morning, Blossom Nigeria. Then Grace Emmanuel says, I have a question. What is the major challenge of privatizing the power sector? Because I feel it would be best efficient if it is fully privatized. So any of our analysts can answer this question from Grace Emmanuel. She's asking that what is holding back the full privatization of the power sector in Nigeria? And won't it be best if it is fully privatized? So that's our question. So whoever is one of our analysts who we are expecting can do justice to this question. Then we have from Joy Chinedu Samuel. She's saying, wow, that's a good one. Please let the project be completed in Jesus' name. And we say amen. That's referring to the Ajaokuta Kaduna Kano gas project. And she also said, we can't all leave our country to other countries and not contribute to the economy of that country. So stay back, let's build our country together. She's also giving her counsel to those who have been traveling, the evacuated Nigerians, stranded Nigerians in different countries, that the High Commission have been looking for ways to send back, and they've even built the next batch for July 13. So Joy Chinedu Samuel is telling you that you can't all leave the country to other countries and not contribute anything to the economy of that country. So stay back and let's build our country together. Then, wow, Joy Chinedu Samuel, you've really been following, and she says, well done, Dr. Arigbamu. Thank you so much for making us proud. Thank you so much, Joy Chinedu Samuel, for acknowledging the good work of Dr. Samson Arigbamu. Then we have from Francis Chukwu says, don't pride in a country that is another man's pride. Make yours a nation you can be proud of. Is another word of counsel to Nigerians who are quick to travel without having a plan. So he says, don't pride in a country that is another man's land, but make your own country a nation you can be proud of. So don't run away from Nigeria and say, I want to check out. No, if you check out and you don't build the land, how will it make any improvement? You come back and still meet the land the way you left it. But thank God we are standing up to say we can build a better Nigeria, and that is why we are doing what we are doing even this morning. Then Rita Pius says, but for those people that are leaving the country to another country, for my own opinion, is not their fault. It's because of the bad economy of Nigeria. So Rita Pius is of the opinion that those who are traveling out, it's not because they just want to travel, but Nigerian economy is not good enough, and a lot of them may not be able to withstand the pressure. That is why they are traveling. Just a second. Okay. All right, we'll have a call coming in shortly so that we can take some more reactions from that. So Rita Pius, as we were talking about, said a lot of them traveling out is not their fault. It is because of the bad economy of Nigeria. That's why they travel out. But we agree with you, Rita Pius. The only point is that if they are to travel abroad, they should also have a plan. They should have maybe areas they think they can contribute to those economies. But when they become loafers, they are doing nothing. They are not contributing any major thing. They just pick them up from the street and they repatriate them. And that's the issue that Nigerian High Commission seems to be having in most of these countries. But we agree with your point. Then Francis Chukwu also says the solution to a large extent as regard power is to have prepaid meters that will take on payment of bills. So we are also saying that this prepaid meter issue has taken too long. Several people have, according to the reports we've gotten feedback, they've requested for prepaid meters, but for one reason or the other, delays have been unnecessary delays. So it has given it like a special project to apply for and wait. Maybe if you are, in quotes, lucky, you get it. But we are saying no. If the discourse are really sincere about their opinion of how it has been for them investing in the Nigerian power sector, then they should also work towards effective distribution of prepaid meters, just like what Francis Chukwu is saying. Because if there are prepaid meters, they won't have to bother about corrupt staff members going to different houses to give estimated bills. No, it won't happen anymore. So that's a strong point. Then we have Treasure Angel Anyanwu. She's also asking a question. She said, my question is, what is stopping the DISCO from fully distributing prepaid meters to effectively manage the system? That's what we are saying, Treasure. We are asking the same question. Why are they not giving out prepaid meters? And do they, or is there a special way of obtaining the prepaid meters that maybe Nigerians have not been able to measure up to, in quotes? or what else should have stopped or delayed the issuance of prepaid meters till this point, and even they themselves are now complaining. So we are also telling them and asking the same question. No matter what it is, let the issuance of prepaid meter be of priority, so that Nigerians can use that, and the work of sending staff to different houses to say your bill for this month is this, estimated bills will come to an end. Thank you so much. Then we have Savior Nduka saying, good morning, Blossom Nigeria. If the problem is that Nigerians are not paying bills, what happened to 3 million prepaid meters that was promised by Babatunde Fashola in 2017? So he is also asking a question. In fact, we have several questions in today's edition of Dialogue Box. I am not the power sector minister. I'm only saying, and we are standing together to say that as a body, we believe that the power sector can improve. And thank God that the National Assembly stepped in. It's like they were listening to us yesterday, and they gave a very strong directive to the DISCO. So hold on with the increment of tariffs. So we commend the National Assembly for that very good decision. And in addition to that, just like what Savior Nduka is asking, what happened to the 3 million prepaid meters that was promised by Babatunde Fashola in 2017? So just a second. What we can do in that regard is to find out more and maybe do some more of investigative journalism to be able to answer this question fully, because some of these things are just declared in their presentation to the National Assembly, but at the end of the day, no monitoring agencies out there to see to the effective working of what was promised by maybe a minister or a ministry to the populace. So we'll find out more about that. Then we also had a question. We can ask you at this point to make a call. We can take a call from you. So you can call our phone numbers 080 247 89646. I take it again, 080 247 89646. So when you call this number, we can maybe hear from you directly and also answer some of the questions you might still want to ask, or some suggestions you might want to make. And don't forget what Mercy Emmanuel asked. She said, what is stopping the full privatization of the power sector in Nigeria? She would like to know. So if you have that answer right now, call us and we can take your call immediately. Why do you think the full privatization of the power sector has not fully taken effect? What is holding it back? What is preventing, or are there some preventive measures that are still on ground? So what and what do we need to do in Nigeria to improve on the power sector and work on having an effective and stable power supply for both the industries, the individuals, and it will cut across the nation, because Nigeria is due for that. So let's work towards achieving that. So let's get your response on this. Like we said, you can call us 080-247-89646, and let's also hear your voice opinion, your voice report. So we have a lot that we can look at, because from tomorrow, July 1, if they couldn't achieve the increment in tariffs, other measures might want to come in maybe looking for different ways to make some extra monies. So what we are saying is that government should look into the allegation of corrupt staff members that the DISCOs are making. So if they are giving those form of allegations, so should it be that they are now asking to employ their own staff in a way that they can have full 100% control over, and that will be the privatization on the full scale that we are talking about. So apart from the fact that we have the GENCOs, that's the generating companies, and the DISCOs, the distribution companies, all that they are doing must work on either they are fully reporting to the government, or they are on the private sector scale. So if they are to operate on a private sector scale, which most people believe will help the sector to perform better, what should be done to make it even more effective? So, and with some of these feedback we are getting from the distribution companies telling us that Nigerians are not paying bills, because from all the comments we have seen here, nobody has talked about the bills matter, except for the fact that we all seem to believe that when we have prepaid meters, which is to a large extent is very true, when there are prepaid meters, nobody will tell you once you run out of your electricity, what do they call your units? Yes, your electricity units have been exhausted. Nobody will talk to you. It's like when you are using generator, you use generator based on the number of, or the amount of fuel you have. Once you run out of fuel, you can easily go and get. You don't need government to tell you. So the same way, once your units are exhausted, you can easily go and maybe buy the prepaid card or whatever else that they have for you. So what is stopping the issuance or the distribution of the prepaid meters? Let us get that. And I look forward to also getting your calls so that we can look quickly at some of these areas before we round off. Anybody calling in, or you still want to send in your message, you can go ahead and do that. All right, Victor says we can't leave a country without contributing to the country, talking about those who are being evacuated from like we talked about, those who are evacuated from London, 317 Nigerians, and much more are still going to be evacuated. So it talks about the fact that we can't leave a country without contributing to the country. So do your own, contribute your own quota. All right, Coco is here this morning. He says, good morning, Blossom Nigeria. Nigerians have not gotten prepaid because of corruption. He has given us his own very, very key fact. He said it's because of corruption. The staff of the power sector have been using this to make money. So can you imagine? I requested for prepaid meters some time ago, and I was told to pay 53,000 naira. Corruption is the bane of Nigeria. Wow. What more can we say to these things? So with the issue of corruption, how are we going to tackle it fully? But what we can say to this, Coco, is that if it is true that, yes, we know that maybe some staff members may have asked you to pay 53,000 naira, that's a lot. Before you can be given prepaid meter, and in quotes, that's a way of even discouraging you from saying, I'm not taking again. In quotes, it's not by force. So why should I pay 53,000 naira because I need prepaid meter? And most Nigerians will react that way. They will tell you that they don't need it again. So, and that's why most of the prepaid meters are just there, and they've not been able to achieve the purpose for which they were meant. And he is saying that corruption is a major issue. Then Grace Emmanuel says, I fully support the prepaid system too. However, the stress and the sum of money required is discouraging. But if you are to pay for your prepaid meter, why must you pay extra again after paying for your prepaid meters? So we are using this opportunity to call out to Nigerians. Let's also support the anti-corruption drive. In as much as we are working on a system that we are talking about privatization, but for now, what we have on ground is such that if we don't encourage the corruption system, it will not thrive. So after a while, it will phase out. So let's all work together to tackle corruption headlong. It's very challenging, we know. It's not very easy, we know, but we just have to start from somewhere. All right, just before we round off, let me just take this. Grace Emmanuel continues this. However, the stress and the sum of money required is discouraging, yes. Then Francis Chukwu says, a friend told me he was told to pay 100,000 naira. Wow. I'm sure it's for the prepaid meter too. So why should he pay 100,000 naira? So corruption is a major issue in Nigeria, and we are saying at this point that it will not help us. So we can work on having, just a second. Okay, we can work on having a sane system.
Good morning.
Okay, good morning. Who is on the line?
My name is Yeshua Heben.
Yeshua.
I'm calling from Enugu.
Okay, Yeshua Heben, thank you so much for calling in. We're about to round off now, but what is the point you would like to make?
Ma, you said that Nigerians should not leave their country without contributing. What is the government doing? Are they producing jobs for graduates? No, just tell me. Like, many graduates will graduate from school, and at the end, many of them are not even getting jobs.
Okay.
And now they are offering them NPAR. What is NPAR? A 2 years program. And you are paying them 30K. After, see, I finished from Benson University. I read mass communication, and I paid a sum of 530,000 per section. And now I'm done with school. You're telling me you have to pay me 30,000 naira. And you're telling me that I shouldn't leave the country. Why? Why? Regarding the power sector, people are not getting the prepaid meter because of corruption.
Okay.
You talk about jobs, ethnicity everywhere. You cannot get the job because, okay, I even wrote an exam in NNPC, and they were like, they are applying what is called federal character application. Who cares about that? You give the job to somebody that is competent. If you don't want us to leave, you give us good jobs,
okay,
good education,
now,
and so on.
Now, Yeshua Iben, I get your point. The only question I will have for you is that if you leave the country without a purpose and you don't have anything on ground to work on, nothing you will even want to contribute to the economy of the country you are traveling to, why must you then travel? So that's...
My answer to that question is that there is no way you will leave this country and not contribute to the economy of the other country that you are going to.
A lot of them are not contributing anything. That's why they are bringing them back.
Anyway, I don't know for them, but I feel that if I'm given the opportunity to leave this country, I believe that I will contribute immensely, because I believe that the country I'm going to will provide me the right education, a good job, and so on. Just imagine, like in Germany, do you believe that they don't pay school fees?
Okay.
And yes, many of them still get good jobs and so on. But here in Nigeria, we pay huge amounts of money for just school fee, and at the end of the day, no good job. So that's just my point. Thank you so much, Mama. My credit is almost finished.
All right. Thank you so much, Yeshua Iben, for that. We get your point, but like you said, it is very, very sad to finish your education, maybe your school, you went to a very sound university where you were asked to pay a lot as per fees, and you finish, and at the end of the day, you don't get a job. And even when you apply in some offices, they still have, in quotes, the federal character principle, which is not good at all. So that can be very frustrating, but with that, we won't fold our hands and watch and see the country deteriorating further. But what we can do is to stand up to our responsibilities and say that wherever we are, we can make a difference. And with that mindset, everyone will know that they have something to contribute. So we will have to continue tomorrow. But for now, let me just acknowledge Fresh Main Migos. Is this a French name or what? It says corruption can't move in this country anywhere. Wow, this is really a good point, Eben. Then Rita Pio says, yes, Nigeria are really frustrating the youths, killing the dreams of the youth. Thank you so much. We really get your point. We understand your frustrations, but in the midst of all of this, we can stand up to what we believe, and we say that Nigeria can be better if only you and I contribute our quota to building a better Nigeria. And that is why we say on Blossom Nigeria and on Dialogue Box this morning Stand up for what is right. Don't give up. And no matter what, don't always forget the fact that we are the ones that will build a better Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Blossom, and I am an advocate for the Nigerian dream. Thank you.